The following presentation will discuss scoring of the WCPA. This module follows parts 1 through 4 and should be used in conjunction with the WCPA manual. Step 1 of WCPA scoring involves identifying appointments as entered or missing. For example, this person has 15 entered and 2 missing. Step 2 involves identifying accurate appointments and errors through the general error scoring method. General error scoring does not differentiate between error types. An optional detailed scoring method will be reviewed later in this module. To determine accuracy, first identify whether the appointment is placed in the correct location. As an example, exercise at the gym is accurate because it is entered on the correct day, Friday, and within the correct time placement, in the morning. An example of an error would be placement on the wrong day or time slot. The pickup dry clean appointment is an error because although it is placed on the correct day, Monday, it is placed in the wrong time slot. Next, determine if the time allocated for the appointment is correct. In this example, haircut is accurate. The person is given some leeway because appointments are still considered correct if time is off by 1 grid line. On the right calendar, the appointment movies with friends is an error because it is in the right location but too little time is allocated. This can be correctly indicated by writing in the time or drawing a box or arrows past the bottom of the calendar. Additionally, the client must enter an understandable appointment name. The client receives an error if the meaning of the appointment is not completely clear. Dinner with coworkers is accurate because the meaning is completely clear if another person were to read it. Food is an error because the full name, food shopping, was not entered. Each appointment must only be entered once in the calendar. As shown here, food shopping was a repeated entry and should be marked as an error. Step 3 involves reviewing and recording the client's self-recognition of errors as observed during task performance and during the after-task interview. This is indicated by placing a check mark in the SR column. In this example, the client crossed out the appointments after placing on the wrong day. Step 4 involves totaling all columns. As demonstrated in the example, tally the entered, missing, error, accurate, and SR columns and enter the totals in the corresponding box. Step 5 involves calculation of the weighted accuracy and efficiency scores to examine the speed-accuracy trade-off. In this example, take the raw score of 9 and match it to the weighted accuracy score of 4.8. The total time of 15 minutes is converted to 900 seconds. It is important to note that efficiency scores for 4 or less accurate appointments are not calculated. Use the following equation to obtain the efficiency score. From the previous example, the weighted score was 4.8 and the total time was 900 seconds. 900 divided by 4.8 equals an efficiency score of 187.5. A higher efficiency score indicates lower performance. Step 6 involves tallying the strategies observed and reported. Only tally the strategies used occasionally and frequently. Do not include inefficient strategies. Strategies reported are indicated in the after-task interview. Tables for normative reference of the WCPA 17 item are provided in the manual on pages 153 through 161. Be sure to choose the correct table corresponding to the client's age group and level. For example, a client with a raw score of 12 accurate appointments falls into the 20th percentile. This is below average. Comparatively, this means 80% of people in this age group performed better. The following will review a detailed error analysis. This method of scoring differentiates between repetition, location, time, and inaccurate errors. If multiple errors are observed within one appointment, the examiner should score them in the order shown on the screen. A repetition error is scored if the client enters an appointment more than once and does not attempt to correct the entry. Walk dog is a repeated entry and is indicated as an R in the error column. A location error includes an appointment entered on a wrong day or time slot or is entered on a designated free day. Pickup medication is a location error because it is entered before call to renew medication on the calendar. This appointment is indicated as an L in the error column. A time error is scored if a client has allotted an incorrect amount of time by more than one grid line. Food shopping is a time error because the client allocated an incorrect amount of time. This is entered as a T in the error column. An inaccurate error is scored if the client has inaccurately or partially entered the appointment name. Visit with cousin was entered as cousin. This is marked as an error because the full appointment name was not written. This is scored as an I in the error column. There are a variety of forms that can be utilized for documentation and are included in the WCPA manual. This includes, but is not limited to, the WCPA Quick Summary of Raw Scores, which broadly summarizes key raw scores. A visual performance profile that provides a detailed analysis and visual profile of the WCPA results. An error analysis profile, which provides a quick visual representation of frequency, number, and pattern of errors. A normative comparison table that provides a summary of WCPA scores in comparison to the normative sample. The awareness or client perception of task difficulty table, which summarizes the client's self-ratings of performance and compares to therapist ratings. And a computerized documentation table can also be used to provide an organized table for documenting scores in electronic medical records. This concludes the Part 5 WCPA scoring module. Refer to pages 23 through 42 of the WCPA for more information on WCPA scoring guidelines. Additional resources on functional cognition and the WCPA assessment can be found online at multicontext.net.